Okay guys, good morning. Just like any other day, make sure that your first name, last initial, and whatever class period number that you're in. Now we're going to talk about a very important part of equations, and it's connecting to something that you already know, and that's called perimeter. Okay? And for the purposes of our conversation, and these are one of the great words that you guys have given me. We talked about this earlier this year. The perimeter is the border, sides added all together. The border sides of an object added all together. Okay? So, in this particular case, I've got a rectangle. So the perimeter, we would write it this way. One way to write it is capital P equals side 1 plus side 2, this is the way you write it with little ones down here, 2, plus side 3, plus side 4. This is the way you would write it, just like this. And you will moving forward. For a triangle, simple. Side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. Okay? Now, also this year, you need to understand that sometimes they're going to identify particular sides with lowercase b and lowercase h. Okay? In the past, they could also have labeled this side the length and this side the width. Okay? But this year, they will get rid of the length and the width, and they're going to call this line the b and this line the h. This line the h, and this line can also be the b. And what b stands for is baseline. Okay, this is a baseline. So that means that the h is going to be the height line. Okay, this is one of the height lines. And in order to get the border sides added up all together, you could say the perimeter then is base plus height plus height. And let's just bold this all the way around. We would just add up the sides all the way around to get the base. So let's look at this first problem. If the perimeter of this rectangle is 110, given that the B baseline is 40, can you determine what the height H-E-I-G-H-T line is going to be? So first and foremost, we have to decide which lines are the B and which lines are the H on this rectangle. Just like we did up here, the B baseline is here and the H height line is here. If this is the baseline, then this is also a baseline. If this is a height line, then this is also a height line. Okay? And we're going to use this formula right here, and let's rewrite it here. Capital P equals little b, the baseline plus the baseline plus the height line plus the height line, all four sides added up, just what we set up here. The border sides added all together. So b plus h, that'll cover it. In this problem, it says the P, the perimeter is 110. All the way around, it's 110. And the baseline then, each of these baselines is 40. So if I substitute, just like we've been doing in equations, that the baseline is 40, plus, okay, this baseline also 40, plus, I don't know what this is, and I don't know what this is. The question is, what is one height line? That's your question, okay? You're going to work together to try to figure that out. Before I let you go, let me move you to number 2, and then you're going to keep going because these get a little bit difficult. This is level 2. So if you are told capital P That's perimeter. Capital P is 20x. Let's list this over here. Capital P is 20x. And the H, the height line, is 6x. H equals 6x. And little b, baseline, is 8. Which you see it's listed on the rectangle here. Can you just simply write an equation to match this problem? Well, we're going to use the same knowledge that we had before. Capital P is going to equal baseline plus height line plus height line. In other words, baseline plus height line, all four sides added up. Where we know, what do we know? Let's drop these things. I'll move down just a little bit. Let's drop these things in here. I know P, capital P, is 20x, right here. Do we know what B is? Yep, B is 8. Plus, again, B, 8, plus H is 6x, plus H again, 6x. Okay? Ignore that. So then the question is, can we make, this is one answer, but can we make this any more simple? Is there anything that you could add together? You can add the 8 and the 8 together. So let's simplify this just a little bit. We could say 20x equals 16. You can also add the coefficients with the variables together. You can add these coefficients because they both have a positive x to the power of 1. So 6 plus 6 is 12. We say plus 12x, and look at that. Now we have our 7th grade equation. Okay. So this is kind of the fundamentals of decoding equations out of perimeter. Remember, we can also ask you at this point, put a fence in here and solve for x. That's what this next part is asking you. Turn it over. Okay, level 3. It gets even more complicated. Now you're comparing the perimeter of two rectangles, but the perimeter of two rectangles is the same. So here's a big hint. Put an equal sign between this rectangle and this rectangle. Okay? Try to figure out, hey, if this rectangle is equal to this rectangle, then I'm going to add up these four sides and set them equal to those four sides. So capital B plus H for this rectangle equals this rectangle is lowercase b plus H plus H. Okay? Try to figure out what numbers go in here. Work with your table, answer these questions. You just got a few minutes. Try to get all the way through level 4 at the bottom. Raise your hand if you have any questions and let us come around and help you. Good job.